Hello everyone, welcome to this review of the Phanteks Evolv Mini-itx case, so let's get started. The Phanteks Evolv Mini-itx is the smaller of its bigger brother, which is the Phanteks Evolv 80x. Solid construction all around, with metal exterior and some glossy texture, except the front panel which is made of plastic. The paint job's excellent, much better than many cases I've seen before, even better than the expensive ones. It measures up to 130 by 375 by 395mm, so it's quite large for an ITX machine. And here's a snapshot next to NZXT Manta and NZXT Phantom. You can find this case in white to black color, and after a long consideration, I got the white one, and it looks amazing over my white desk. And here's the accessory bag. It comes with a cable tie and some screws you'll need for the build. Okay, so let's get started with the front panel. It features two USB 3.0 ports, audio and mic jacks, a reset button which is surrounded by the HDD light. There is a power light at the bottom side as well, but there's no wires connecting to the front panel itself, which is perfect for an easy front panel pop-out without worrying about ripping off the wires. On the sides we have two ventilation openings for airflow entry. Now we can pop out the front panel with a firm pull, and just behind it there's a detachable dust filter. And the case comes with a large and good quality 200mm intake fan, which is replaceable with two 140 or 120mm fans if you desire. Moving to the top panel, it's pretty solid and undetachable. Well, unless you undo several screws at the sides. Something worth to mention is that the top panel is a bit elevated to provide enough space for a constant stream of unobstructed airflow to exit through the sides and the back openings. The power button is located at the front side of the top panel. Okay, now for a quick peek at the left side panel. There's a large glass window revealing your magnificent interior goodies with a nice Phanteks logo. We will talk more about the interior in just a second. Towards the back of the case, we have the usual motherboard I/O panel and the exhaust that can either fit a 120 or 140mm fan. And just below it, there's two PCI brackets in black color, in contrast with the white case, which I believe is a nice touch. And of course, just beneath it is the power supply chamber. Now at the very bottom, we have a removable dust filter for the power supply air intake and four rubberized legs. Now let's talk about the inside of the case. First, to reveal all the awesomeness and the glowiness inside, we need to remove the two thumb screws. There's quite a lot of space for an ITX motherboard. It's big enough for a water cooling solution, as this case was built for. For example, you can buy an additional bracket for mounting the reservoir. Another noticeable feature is the large fan at the front, which allows air to move through the whole area inside. At a later stage, I'll be replacing the big fan with two 140mm fans. Having rubber grommets and all cable cutout is a big plus. And because we have a lot of space, we can fit in a graphic card up to 330mm and a CPU cooler up to 200mm, which is spectacular for an ITX form factor. If that's not impressive enough, there's a removable platform with a Phanteks logo, and with an additional bracket upgrade you can mount an SSD drive, 3.5 mechanical drive, or even a reservoir. Another awesome feature of this platform, it provides an easy access to replace your GPU by opening the flaps without detaching the whole thing. Moving on to the top, there's a mounting plate for an easy installation of the top fans. You can slide it out to have an option to mount two fans up to 140mm, or if you desire you can mount a large radiator up to 280mm. The mounting plate is very tight fit, and it's very difficult to slide it in or out, which defeats the purpose of providing convenience when installing the top fans. Now reversing to the right panel, we have a plain white solid panel, and to open it we just need to remove two thumb screws. As you can see here, there's enough room for cable management. And there's a gap next to the power supply to provide you with an ample space to stuff in some of the cables. After all, this is a large ITX chassis. We also have two cable straps at this side and an additional SSD mounting area. At the bottom we have a large chamber that fits in a standard ATX power supply up to 180mm, or even longer if you remove the drive cage. but I don't think you'll need a huge one for an Mini-itx build with whatever devices you can fit inside this case. Once again, we have a drive cage next to the power supply, and you can mount two 3.5 drives or SSDs. You can even double the number of SSDs for each slot if you got the special SSD bracket, and I got one here from Corsair. In fact, you can see here I've mounted my NZXT Hue Plus hub and also an SSD drive. And if you decided to install a 240mm radiator at the front, you will need to remove this drive cage and the bracket platform just above the GPU. So in conclusion, this case packs a lot of space to feature liquid cooling, big graphic card and big power supply with adequate room for cable management and at least 3 mounting points for 3.5-inch drive or 4 mounting points for an SSD. The paintwork is great and the durability and build quality is outstanding. It looks simple but also stylish, and building your beast with this case is fun and easy. You could probably find this case for around $70, more than half the price of its bigger sister. All in all, it's a cool case, and I believe it's totally worth what you're paying for. Alright guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all later.